that works if you can do that. So I wrote everything down so I could go fast because I know you're way busier than I am. Okay, so just let me know when you want me to start.
Yeah, just jump right in.
Okay, so my site is not doing bad. I don't think I've never done this before, but I think I'm okay. It's going up as far as the rankings go, but I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do with the leads. So I have voicemails coming in. I have somebody that pinged me on Facebook. So like what? Just kind of help me understand what I'm supposed to do with them specifically.
Okay, so you have it going to voicemail. That's all you really need to do. That's perfect. Like you don't need to take care of every lead right now because you have to think of it from their perspective or your own perspective. Have you ever called a company and got voicemail, and did that ruin your day, or did you move on and call the next company? Right.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking all of a sudden I need to like hurry up and help these people. So, okay. All right. So I don't have to worry about getting them to anybody to help them. I just have to record the call.
Yeah, you just record the call, and the reason why is you're collecting data, obviously. Like you want to know how many calls are coming in now as your rankings are improving, and when you go to rent it out, you'll have that information. You'll also have voicemails from real clients that you can actually use to play to the people that you're talking to when you're potentially renting it out. And so both of those items are going to be really helpful in your sales process, because you can say, like last month we got like 40 calls or 50 calls or whatever it might be. And if you want to hear some of the recordings, like you can send them links depending on the services that you're using.
Okay, that makes sense.
And if you do have kind of a moral or ethical issue about wanting to help these people, you can just pick a company and just forward the calls to them and just don't say anything. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. So I called the company up when I got one because I work in customer service and I'm like, oh, I got to help this guy. So I called the company up and I did give them the lead and they just, okay, cool, thanks. So I guess I was really worried that if I didn't call people back, they would go on my Facebook page or give me bad reviews and then that would impact my my ability to rent it out. So, okay.
Nah, I don't think people give bad reviews just because they didn't get their phone call answered.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And then I got a ping, a weird one on Facebook, and it was just a woman that said on my business website, Facebook site, it said, "Hey, tell me more about your company." Like I didn't answer it because I'm just, what do you want to know? It's the website.
Yeah, that's what I would have said to them. Well, what do you want to know?
Okay. All right. So emails I got. So I basically just collect it and don't answer the inquiry, just collect the data.
Yeah. And then if you are going to forward the calls to another company just to, take care of people, don't record them.
Okay.
Because other companies not knowing that you're sending them calls and then having their calls recorded is not cool.
Okay. So jumping down to another one, do I need a terms or privacy page on my website if I'm sharing leads? Okay. Cool. So I bought what I thought was backlinks, but it didn't do anything for my DA or PA because the guy said that it's only for rankings. So it did help. I bought 5 of them. I went through Legit and the guy told me that he said, all links have been done. Yeah. Our PBNs don't impact DA or PA. They are totally for Google and improving rankings. We block third-party link bots to ensure privacy of your links from our competitors. So my rankings went up, but I still have a 1 and a 1 for my DA and my PA, and I show 0 backlinks.
Okay, so I like when you first said that, I was like, what? Okay, so DA and PA is a measurement by Moz on the authority and trust and power of your site based on the links that they can see.
Oh, got it.
So if they can't see the links, then they're not going to apply that score to your website, which is what that vendor is saying. He's saying we block Moz for me being able to see these backlinks.
I got it. So is there
Google will see it.
Okay.
And your rankings will improve because of it, but it won't be reflected in Moz.
So then the one that you had on your training, Surpass SEO on Legit, I pinged him and I said, hey, dumb question, sorry, but what can I buy to increase my DA and PA? And he basically said, I can do one of 2. I can increase your DA or PA, or I can help you rank. Which do you want?
Yeah, it's kind of related to that other question. It's basically saying, do you want your links to be private from link aggregators like Moz? and
Okay.
majestic or not. I mean, the benefit getting a backlink, whether it shows up in Moz or not, if it's indexed in Google, should help your rankings.
Okay. So it
Right?
doesn't
That's the
matter which one
purpose
I
of a
pick.
backlink. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Like your ultimate goal isn't to increase your DA and PA, it's to increase your rankings.
Okay. Nope, that makes perfect sense. I just didn't get there.
Okay.
How long do I wait until I buy more? Like they're still going up. Do I just wait for them to flatten out?
Yeah, I would wait for a
Okay.
little bit of settlement in
Okay.
your links. I mean, you could keep going. It's kind of, you're balancing your budget because you don't want to like spend an extra 100, $200 on links if you're already number one.
Sure.
Right? You
Yep.
don't like,
Yep.
you may want to maintain your rankings, but typically once you hit number one in a local niche, the only thing that's going to knock you back down is other people doing something better than you, which
Sure.
may be more links or better optimization or whatever. But at that point, maybe then you would go buy another link. But if you're still moving up, the power is still transferring into your sites.
Okay.
And until you really flatline in your rankings for at least a week, then I would just hold off from building more links. Where are you right now? Page 3, you had said, right?
I'm at, well, it depends on exactly my specific keyword. I'm at 35 as of today. But it's gone up from 80 to 35 in the past like week and a half. And I bought the links on, I don't remember, I have it written down somewhere, 18th, I think. So it's still going up. And I keep tweaking the site, which I need to stop because I'm like, every time I tweak it, I'm like, all right, is it the links? Is it that? So I just need to stop dicking around with it. So I'll wait until it flatlines, but it's still okay. It's still going up.
Yeah.
Should I link to my main page always, or should I link to other pages?
Well, you link to the things you want to rank, right?
Okay.
So if your main page is your primary concern, you're going to be building links to that. But if you have, other pages with keywords that you do want to rank for, maybe additional services or something, and they're not getting there, you might want to link to them. Now, links to your homepage, if you've done your site structure properly, will transfer power to your inner pages because your homepage links to your inner pages. So the link juice flows through there.
Awesome. Okay.
But sometimes you still need to send a link to the additional pages.
Okay.
So typically like for Salt Lake City and for the catering site, if I'm building less than 10 links in total to those sites.
Okay.
I'm sending about 70% of them to the homepage, and the other 30% are going to divide it up amongst the inner pages. So it's not a lot.
Okay. I got you. That makes sense.
Other thing I wanted to mention about your links. Oh yeah. Okay. So moving from page 8 to page 3 versus moving from page 3 to page 1, and then moving from number 10 to number 1. It's easy to go from 100 to 30. It's very easy. It doesn't take a lot. Getting to the first page and then getting to number 1 is harder than getting from page 10 to page 3, right? Because you got to think of it like the top 10 are the cream of the crop. Mm-hmm. So to beat the cream of the crop, you have to be the best. You have to do the best. So, I mean, where were you ranking before you started building links?
In the 80s. I shouldn't say that. I would say, I did write it down somewhere. Google here. I was at, for my keyword, 86. And then the links came in, 83, 86. And now I'm at 35.
Okay. So the links helped huge.
Yes. Yeah. And I also finished my site too, but still, the links were the most of that. Yes.
Yeah. Typically, I like to finish my sites as much as I can and then let the rankings tell me a story about, how good did I do of choosing a keyword that's low competition and how well did I optimize my site. So if you're, everything's dependent, right? So if you chose a really low competition keyword and you built your site and you ranked it, page 3, 4, 5, you've done a really good job at 2 things: keyword research, like choosing the right keyword with low competition, and you optimize your site extremely well to get those kind of results.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying because you landed on page 80 that you failed at either of those items. Maybe it was just that competitive of a keyword, and 80 is really the best you can do with really good optimization. I don't know without looking at the site, the
Sure.
keyword, the
I
competition.
think it was low competition, but then now that I know that people can get backlinks without showing on Moz, maybe they did that same thing, and I don't know. But
Right.
I think I did okay. I mean, I followed everything pretty good. So I'm just gonna let that settle. I ordered them on 12/18. They didn't get done until like the 23rd, so it's not been that long. It's less than a
Okay.
week, effectively.
And then
Okay.
the power of links now. So, I mean, Serp House sells pretty cheap links. I'm assuming your link budget was less than $50.
I don't really have a budget. I just want this to be successful so I can rent it out.
No, I
I'm
mean what you've
actually
already spent.
Oh, yes, I spent I'm going to say it was like 70 maybe for 5 links, 60, 70, something like that.
Oh, okay. So you bought some decent links then.
For five I got 5 links for that price.
Okay, those are not bad then. Okay, well, we'll have to kind of take it as you go. Typically, to really push sites to the top, it's going to take not more links, but more powerful links.
Sure. Is there somebody that
Right.
that sells that specifically?
I mean, you could just contact those same vendors and just be like, I need
Ask them.
more
Okay.
powerful. I need
I
more
gotcha.
powerful links. Just expect that, more powerful links are going to cost you more money.
Sure.
I'm likely going to be releasing a link service to full club members
Oh, cool.
from my
Okay.
own PBN. So they'll be vetted by me and they'll be extremely powerful.
Nice. Okay.
That'll come. That takes a lot of work to do that. But
Okay.
if you want, I can take a look at your site. That's up to you. And I can share my thoughts of your competition and your optimization.
I would love that, but I know you have a lot more
I like
that you
doing
can
it.
help me. So yeah, if you want to, so I have never done anything in the internet field before, so it could be total shit or it could be decent. I have no idea.
Well, it's decent if it's where I can tell you just without even seeing it that you went from 80, debuted at 80 and moved it to 30. You're doing pretty good. I can tell you
Okay.
that already.
So it's I should know this. My gosh, I go in it every day. Reading PA Movers. Reading.
Reading.
PA Movers.com.
Movers.com. Okay, so I'll always start with this. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so right here, these I try to tell people to avoid.
Okay.
Avoid a keyword that triggers these because these are going to steal a ton of phone calls.
Okay.
You're already competing against ads. If you get a GMB, that's the best way to compete with these, but it is hard. So just know that if you do trigger these, it's not the best thing, but it's okay because you're still learning. Like you said, you're still getting calls. It just makes your life easier if you don't have to compete with Google guaranteeds. So Reading PA Movers, let's take a look at the, let's do this first. Take a look at the keyword volume. Yeah, okay, that's in Canada. Okay, 98.34, good. And then the next thing I do is like, okay, who's optimized? I'm sure you've seen me do this 100 times.
Yep.
Just the one guy. And then just take a look at the power. That's good. That's good. That's a little harder, but it's still good. That's allied.
Yep.
But only 2 links. That's good. Okay, there you go. That's really good. So yeah, good competition. Good keyword. Okay, so yeah, you're good there.
Okay.
Reading
So
PA
I had help
movers.
on this. I had gotten somebody from Legit that helps me put stuff in because it was taking me. I must have 100 hours into this, and I couldn't even figure out how to put pictures in. I'm much faster now, but I had some help on it.
Okay. So really, I'm more looking at the amount of content you have, the way you lay it out.
I have to finish my tags. I didn't do that yet because I have different areas that I want to build tags for. So that I have to do.
So that's something I avoid doing.
Okay.
Reading is in there twice. Like your main keyword being first is perfect there, and then in your EMD. So that's all perfect, right? Like really aggressive optimization to start with. Mm-hmm. However, there's opportunities. You've already said Reading and PA, so you don't need to say it again. You're not getting any extra benefit from repeating yourself. Moving versus movers is fine. You just moving company, and then any LSI stuff that you might have any additional keywords. I don't know if you use the project planner, but if you did.
Yep.
Yeah, like
I can do that.
Work those into the title, into a sentence that makes sense. Same thing, title, description. But here you don't have to worry as much about if you say Reading twice in your description, that's not bad. It's cool. In your title though, it's not going to help you.
Okay.
Reading PA Movers is moving back from storage company serving Eastern Pennsylvania. That's perfect. That's great. H1s. So we got a blank one in Reading PA Movers. This is good. Yeah, that's all fine.
Okay.
I would change these to H3.
Okay.
But you're not really targeting. Eventually you might, but yeah, that's not a big deal. This is good enough that, if I was going to be extremely picky, right, I'd find out where your blank H1 is and get rid of it. Okay. I would look at why you have an H2 and an H3 with the same word. Okay. Probably even look at that. Yeah, that's why. So
is that an extension that you have to look at it like that, or is that just a youth thing?
This is a detailed SEO Chrome extension by Glenn Alsop.
Okay, cool.
And I can already tell you why it's doing this. This looks like a Veda to me, this theme.
It is, yep.
Okay. So your text on the front is long distance moves, and it's assigned as an H2 tag, and then your text on the back has the same thing, and then it's assigned as an H3.
Okay.
So super easy to fix in a Veda. Just remove one.
Got it. I can do that. That's easy.
But those are all good. Reading.
Okay.
This whole bit's an H4, which is, I wouldn't do that. I'd make it text. So remove the H tags. And then service area is great, but then change these into H3s.
Okay.
So H tags are supposed to be they're not, a lot of people use them to make the size of the text bigger or smaller because that's, the design element to H tags, but really what they're meant for is to define hierarchy of content matter on your pages.
Got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're good. The H1 is reading movers, and then your sub content of your reading PA movers is a moving package storage company offering residential and commercial. We service this area. So these are all fine. When you get to service areas, H3, Philadelphia, stuff like that.
Yep.
So yeah, this is pretty good.
Okay. That just kind of jumps down to the page in the middle.
Yeah, I gotcha. There. So your supporting pages are FAQ, not done yet?
Oh, that's weird.
There it goes. Okay, no, it's just my goodness. Okay, no, that's good. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Yeah, that took me about 3 weeks to get, but I got there.
Yeah, the nice thing, every time you build a site now, you're going to be faster and then faster and faster, right?
Yeah.
it's part of the education process, and you'll also get better at design. You'll get better at Aveda. Aveda's so good.
Yep.
Although I'm really loving Thrive Themes the more I use it. So yeah, like everything is done really good. I don't see any reason or anything that's a glaring issue to me.
Okay. So I'll get more backlinks
pretty well
after it settles. Do you know why? So I'm showing 0 backlinks right now, but I have Facebook, Twitter, and Yelp connected. At some point, do they show as a backlink? Would it like populate there?
In Moz, you mean?
Yeah.
It should.
Okay.
Like if you're linking from your Facebook page over to your site, yeah, eventually it would get, once Moz crawls it, they would show it.
Okay.
I think it just takes some time.
Good. A couple more. I'm sorry to blow your head up here. So after I sell it, after I find somebody that wants to buy it, I think there would be 3 options. They would either use my site with their contact info, they would use their site and I would funnel it, or they keep both up. Like, what's the normal avenue for people once you sell your site?
What I like to do is I'll maintain control of the site, right?
Yep.
And the phone number on the site. So like, that's actually one thing that I'm not seeing here that you don't need to worry about it right now, but you will, is a big call to action right away, like a phone number. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have it in the really tiny top left. I should make that bigger.
Oh, up here. Yeah. Like you don't want people to have to look for it. You want them to get to your site and be like, call this number, blah. It's almost like,
okay.
The only thing they saw was a phone number. That'd be good too.
Okay.
So what I do is that number gets forwarded to the company.
Yep.
Right? Because they're not really interested in the website and the rankings. They're interested in the customers.
Okay.
Ultimately.
Okay. Yep.
But to give them a sense of pride into their brand, I would just like add their logo and not change any of the text, but this is actually an image, which is great. So you have reading PA movers. It looks like text, but this is actually an image.
Yep. Yeah, I created that.
So you can literally just replace it with their company name and their logo.
That was my next question. Cool. All right. So brand it with them.
So you slightly brand it to them and you send them the phone calls from the call tracking link that's on this site. If you added GMB, you do the same thing, but you add a new call tracking number specific to that GMB. So then you can say, look, the GMB is producing this volume of calls. The website is producing this volume of calls.
Ah, cool.
Now, other options with the client, that's what I like to do. But I also like to have options so that, if the client wants to hear other options or this or that, it gives you options of things to talk to them about and to do. Is you can overlay their site onto yours. Yep. Advantage to that is obviously their company's brand stays 100% intact. The disadvantage for them and you a bit to that is that unless they install the local supremacy plugin on their site, you can't change the phone number of their site. Like, so people will be coming through Google to your site, but they'll see their site and their phone number. You won't be able to track those calls. That's kind of the downside to it. Now, if the client is really happy with you, you can actually install local supremacy on their site, the plugin, and then use something called skinning, which allows you to change elements of it's not really changing elements of their site, because what skinning does is it downloads kind of a copy of their site so that you can edit elements of their page. Okay. So then that way you can maintain their brand, but put your call tracking on it.
Okay. Do most people choose just to keep their site and your site up at the same time?
I've never done it. I've never got to the point where overlays were used for a client.
Okay.
I might do it with a new client of mine just to see how it goes. Okay. But I've always just like, look, I've got a bunch of calls I can send you.
Yep, I got you.
Like, yeah, and then if they want to see the site and the rankings, like I use the rankings to help, sell. Be like, look, I'm ranking for this. They're obviously going to see the site. Be like, look, I'll brand the site. I'll make it look like your company. And then I explain to them like, the reason we're doing this is, if people are arriving on my site, I want you to know the business that I'm sending you as a result of this website. So we're going to track the phone numbers, and that way a lot of companies will, sometimes the skeptical ones will be like, yeah, well, those customers would have called me anyway. And you'd be like, no, like this number only exists on my website. That's how I'm being transparent to you about the business I'm sending you.
What do you do with the Facebook, Twitter, and Yelp accounts associated to the page after you sell it? Do you still maintain them?
Oh yeah, you maintain every
Okay.
asset you build. The only
Okay.
thing you'll ever do is change the look or the brand or the,
Got it.
you know what I mean? Like not the name or not the control or anything like that, unless you sell it outright
Yeah.
to a company, right? And then
Okay.
obviously you would transfer everything permanently, which I've done that as well.
And do you use local supremacy to invoice them, or do you use
No.
something different?
No, I
Okay.
just use PayPal invoicing. It's so simple and easy.
Okay.
When I had a lot of clients, I used FreshBooks, but
Okay.
I mean, PayPal has grown in functionality so much that
Okay.
I set up a recurring invoice. Now, it's also going to depend too on your billing structure with your clients. So like some clients will want to go on a pay per call billing structure, like post month billing, like, oh, I
Yep.
received 50 calls this month. You're charging me $10 a call. So I get invoiced this month for
Sure.
500, next month, 600. You
Yeah, I
can't
got
do
you.
recurring auto invoices that way. But my clients, I like to benchmark my call volume.
Yep.
So like when we hit this volume of calls, your invoice is going to go to this amount so that they know if their invoice changes, why it changed. And then
I got you.
the amount billed to them is always the same. And that's how I do it. It's just really
Okay.
simple and easy, and the clients don't mind.
Okay. Like two more questions here. So
Sure.
when I'm in Project Supremacy, there's the tracking, and it says it's not indexed yet. Do I go to get it? Like why isn't it indexed? Is there a
You
reason
mean the
that?
ranking?
Yes.
Okay, so let's show you a trick for that, because the plugin lags a little bit behind the app.
Okay.
So let's go to websites. Oops. I think so. I'll go to rank tracker here.
So I show keywords and I show that I'm ranking. Hold on. Am I saying this right?
I think I already know what you're saying. I'm going to show you what's going on. So you've got your rank tracker for a site in the app, but you also have your project
Yes.
planner, which shows you a ranking, and they're different.
A little bit. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So
it's just a lag.
This one is the one to be taken as,
Okay.
This is what's actually happening.
I got you.
Like I said, the plugin rankings, for some reason, I'll talk to my developers about this. The plugin rankings can lag. Like sometimes they stick and they don't update as often as this one does.
We'll look at that
So
one. Okay.
all you have to do, and the other thing you can do is, number one, look at that one if you want to see. But you can also update your project plan really easily if you click this button right here.
Force the plugin. Okay.
Force a sync with the plugin. That sends these into your plugin.
Okay, cool.
And updates them.
Okay, got that. Is there a number of H1 or H2 tags that you should shoot for per page based on competition? Or is
yes
that
and no. It depends how crazy you want to get. Like you're going to get, the 80-20 rule, like 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts, sort of thing. If you're struggling to push site into the top 3, if you're really struggling, that's where you have to start getting really granular and start looking at what is my competition doing. Typically, no, you don't have to worry about the amount of H1s and the lengths and the keywords and stuff like that. Just your basic optimization with your natural amount of content on your page, and good backlinks is typically going to be enough to beat everyone else, because in a local space, people don't really know what they're doing and you can beat them a lot.
Okay.
Now, if you're struggling as you get into more competitive keywords, you have to start being aware of what the top 10 are doing. And that's where I suggest, getting into keyword tools. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Surfer SEO.
Nope.
What they do is you'll input a keyword, they'll go grab the top 100 results, and they'll analyze every on-page element of the top 100 and report like the averages. Okay. So they'll say, the top 10 average H1 count is 7. You're at 3. You should probably put 4 more on.
Okay.
Right. Cool. So
check that out.
That's when you're really struggling. Do you need to go, or if you're in high competition markets, that you would need to use a tool like that. For now, don't worry about it. See what you can do with just pure backlinks and just brute force.
And then the last question I had in Google Search Console, I get different results when I type in HTTPS, my website, or just readingpamovers.com. Why?
Google Console, you can add a property for an HTTP and an HTTPS,
Okay.
right?
So
Are
if I
you, do you have an SSL on your site?
I have Google Search Console and I have it hooked up.
So you have an SSL?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's HTTPS. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I'm going to take that out and see what happens. You have an SSL and an auto redirect back to HTTPS. So when
Okay.
you verify a property in the Search Console,
Yep.
verify the HTTPS one.
Okay.
Don't verify the other one. And if you do have it, get rid of it.
Okay. I have to find out if I do. Don't.
Yeah.
Verify.
Because Google will allow for both.
Okay, cool. I think I got everything. Video, got that. The only thing that I found that I'm going to do a little bit more research on when I go to rent and I plug in my volume to get my what do I want to get out of it. For me, because people are moving in this area now, the past 3 months, the volume of search traffic is significantly higher than the past 12 months. So when I look at the volume, I click on all of them individually to see if that trends up, and they're all up. So it was kind of taking the moving average of 12 months, and I may use like a 3 month dive just to, because that's what's going on now. Maybe, maybe not. But I did look at the detail on that, and it did seem like that was better in my specific instance to use the 3 instead of the 12. And that's it.
Your rental value is not really going to be determined by your search volume, right?
Oh, that's fair. It's going to be determined by
I
what I'm
mean,
getting.
you could have a
right.
search volume of 1,000 per month and only be generating one call a month.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
the call volume,
Yeah.
just always remember the thing you're selling is leads, nothing else, not rankings,
Yeah.
not,
I got
anything, but leads. So when you price your site out, if you go to resources and tools,
Yep.
do these ones.
Yep, I got that.
Actually, that one's not. That's more, is it profitable? But this one is a good one to use, rental and lead pricing.
Yep.
Like leads for moving companies, $20-$30.
Okay.
Probably is like base it a little bit on your CPC. Like I think it was like an $18 or what was it? It was up there, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Let's take a quick peek at what these.
So CPC is call per click. So that's what people are paying to get those calls, basically, or those clicks.
No, cost per click.
Cost per click. Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry, let me just do this one more time. I think it was $10, $9.85 or something. $8.34. So what this is saying is that companies are willing to pay $8.34 for someone to click an ad.
Okay.
Right now, if they're willing to pay $8 for someone to click on an ad just to visit their website, how much would they be willing to pay if their phone actually rang? It's
Sure.
much better to get a call than a click. So you kind of have to go get a starting point, right? So $8, you could even easily say, okay, 20 is pretty fair. I'm not going to make people click to your website. Like if you even did it like this, like if a website converts at 20% calls, they would need 5 clicks to get a call.
Sure.
5 times 8 is $40.
Yep.
So you at $20 is decent, right? Even $30. So then you start benchmarking, right? So based on, okay, you don't know how many calls you have yet. You know that 30 is pretty fair for a rate. So if you're at say 20 calls, you're at a fair asking value of about $600 a month.
Sure.
And then benchmark from there with the person. Like when you sign them up, say, listen, we're at this volume of calls. I'll rent it out to you for this amount. If the calls drop, I'll reduce it. But if they go up, we'll benchmark it 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100 calls per month and say like, look, every time I advance your calls by 20, I'm going to raise your price by $600.
Got it.
Based on a $30 call rate. And then everything's very, very fair and structured. They understand it. You understand it.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Well, I've got some homework here to do, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, good job.
I'll keep you posted, and we'll see if I can rent this guy out soon.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay,
Where
cool.
where are you at right now? You're getting one call, right? You said one or two calls.
I got 2 calls so far. I had 1 voicemail. I had shouldn't say two. So I had 3 total calls in the past 2 days. 2 of them just didn't leave voicemails. They just hung up. One left a voicemail, and it was a guy that needed help moving. So I had one actual call, and that was it. So I'll make the number bigger because I did not do a good job with that. I just got Twilio off my back. They were asking me for all kinds of information, and lucky me because the Thylahawk, I emailed them and they're like, yeah, we've never heard of that. And I'm like, oh, cool. So everything is good with that now, but I'll just make the number bigger. I think I would do better with that because my clicking on the website is going up every day. So I feel like I'm getting better traction every single day. So.
Okay. One thing I'll mention too is that you said that you did send that one caller to somebody, right?
I just called up a moving company and I gave them the guy's name and number and not my name and number. Yes.
How did you handle that call? You just called them up and said, hey, somebody called me for moving and I can't move them, or?
Yeah, so I called and it was the Christmas Eve. So I got the emergency woman that, picked up and I said, hey, I have a lead for you. I got a guy that contacted me. I can't help them. And here's his name and number. Can you please call him back? And they said, okay, thanks. Bye. So it was perfect.
Okay.
So I think I probably got the not somebody in charge of the company by any means because they
Right.
would have asked more questions. But
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to get the lead off somewhere. So
What you
yeah, that
should
was
do
it.
moving forward with that scenario, if you want to continue, helping the people that are actually calling the number and kind of planting little seeds for businesses, is call that same company back, find out who you're talking to, get their name, get their information, say, hey, talk to them.
Okay.
Hey, like I do get calls and I'd like to keep sending them to you for now. You know what I mean? Just open a small conversation. Of course, they're gonna. If you said here's a name and a number of a call, they're gonna be like, okay, thanks, bye. Freebie, see you later. But I mean, you want to move that relationship forward, right?
Okay.
So you get permission.
Yep.
Right? Always do permission based. If I have more leads, would you guys like them? Yes. Okay. Well, can I get your name? I'd like to, talk to you on a more consistent basis, sort of thing. Like, start opening a dialogue in a relationship. So that, at one point, you can call them back and say, hey, I've sent you like 40 calls last month. I actually am ready to like make this a deal,
Okay.
And then it's not like you're a stranger calling them. They've been receiving your calls. You're grooming them.
Sure.
Right.
That
And
makes
they're not
sense.
going to want to say no to that business. But if all you do is just some random person gave me a lead, you're not doing yourself any service.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Good call. Good call. Cool. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'll wait a little bit, and my next step is how important are tagging and I wanted to get the Google My Business going. Is the tags going to help significantly? I guess that would just increase my search volume because I'm going to be expanding the area that I'm allowing to be searched.
Tagging? Do you mean tagging for different areas on your website?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's what that's doing is just creating an additional URL that's indexable for different locations.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure you watched the video. It sounds like you have.
Yep.
So it just gets you more traffic. So I have the main page here, and then I have like this Draper, Bountiful, Sandy, Centerville. So these are tags. It's actually the home page, right? You've seen the video, you know how that works.
Yep.
It just gives you another indexable URL for a different keyword in Google that can increase your calls depending on the keyword volume and stuff like that. So it's a good idea to do. Now, how GMB is a totally different thing.
Yep.
Right? GMB is like getting in the maps. That if you land in the maps, you can expect your call volume to be like 5-10x.
I gotta get
that. If you were on the first page, yeah.
Okay. I watched all the web videos on that, and I got in the Facebook groups that I need to get, and I just didn't send anything out yet, so I got to do that. All right.
Yeah. GMB is extremely powerful.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But I like that you're focusing on the rankings as well, and seems more so you're kind of, so like you heard of Kristen Fairchild, she's kind of was the opposite. She was GMBing first and ranking second.
Yep. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I like when you come in with strong rankings to a client too. Like I said, ultimately they don't care. They want phone calls.
They just want the
But
call.
if
Yeah.
yeah, if you can come in and be like, look, I'm ranking number one for this, it just adds to your professionalism. You're like, look, I'll generate you calls on Maps. I'm also ranking in Google. It also opens the doors for you to do bring them on as an SEO client later on. Like for an
Okay.
instance, if you get a moving company signed on to your rank and rent property and they're happy with your business, you can say, look, how about whether that you did a GMB or not. If you didn't do a GMB, say, hey, I can bring you more calls, and then you add the GMB. If you sign them with a GMB because of the volume of the calls, that's great. And you can say, look, you obviously know I know what I'm doing. Would you like me to get your site ranked in Google as well? That's an additional XX dollars, right? It opens the doors, and they'll have that conversation with you because they're already paying you. They're already happy with
Sure.
the results they're getting from
Cool.
paying you. They know, like, and trust you. It's another additional avenue of income for you.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you open up the PBN thing, let me know. I definitely purchase that.
We're working on it. Yeah, my wife and I are working
Awesome.
on the ordering system and the infrastructure and making sure that if we sell it, it'll be good for people.
Cool. Cool.
We'll announce
Awesome.
it if I open it.
All right. Very awesome. Very
Okay.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a good New Year's.
Okay, talk to you later.
Thanks. Bye-bye.